We just got back from the Teach Them Diligently conference, and we had the best time there. And today we want to talk about conferences and why we love them.
Hi. Hi, this is Rebecca Messer, co-host for the Training Them Wisely podcast, with our host, Renee Christensen. If you would please take a brief moment to give us a 5-star rating and leave a review, it helps our ministry to grow and continue to help other parents. Renee speaks at conferences teaching parents and grandparents how to grow in their walk with the Lord while discipling their children and grandchildren, because authentic, loving discipleship matters.
So conferences,
I love them.
I love them as well. There's just something about being in person with other believers that is so encouraging.
It's medicine, it's fuel. Like, it's so encouraging, it's so inspiring. It's that breath of fresh air that you need, or from what I have found, like this one particular one that we just got back from at Training Them Wisely. It is the event that I look forward to.
Teach them diligently.
Teach Them Diligently. Did I say Training Them Wisely?
You did.
Y'all, mom brain, it's a thing. This is the conference that I look forward to like all year. It's
Yes.
full of so much encouragement, so much practical wisdom, so much fun,
Yeah.
so much just encouragement. And it's something that as we talked about it, we were like, well, conferences are kind of an important thing on your discipleship journey.
And there's been so many times in my life where I've been able to go to a conference and speak to someone that has written a book and been able to get literally practical advice from the author about something that I'm dealing with. And that's a blessing.
And it's specific.
It's very specific. I remember Kathy Cook, actually, she was at the Thrive conference in North Carolina, the homeschool conference there. And one of my children that had some special needs, it was just a hard time whenever we're going through with all of the occupational therapy and physical therapy and constant appointments and all of that to help him, and homeschooling as well. And it was, and she was so encouraging, and just things like that throughout time. That's why, yeah, I go to at least one conference a year, but I try to go to more than one. And this year was our first year for me, being a vendor at a conference. So that was incredibly fun, getting to talk to people about training them wisely.
And it's amazing how exciting it was to talk to so many. If you're listening and you were there, it was just so encouraging to talk with you guys,
pray with
you, to encourage you on your journey and it's just the other thing at conferences that I really like is the like-mindedness.
Yes.
It takes out that feeling of isolation in your parenting discipleship journey, because you're around so many other families that are intentionally wanting to pursue the hearts of their children.
Yes.
And just being in that atmosphere alone is encouraging. It's very uplifting, because it takes away that feeling that parents can often feel, where you're feeling like you're fighting in the trenches alone.
Yes, it really does. And just to have that oomph to kind of get you through the next year, and just to get new ideas about discipleship, new ideas about how to train our kids wisely, is an exciting thing to be able to do.
And you get to interact with people that you would normally never interact with. Like parents, you get to interact with, you get to interact with parents from all walks of life.
Yes.
That are ahead of you, that they're in the same place as you, that they're behind you. And so there's encouragement kind of at every level. But then you get to interact with all of these speakers and authors and people that you would never normally be able to have access to. But all of a sudden you have access, because whoever's hosting this conference has spent so much time and energy and resources to pull them in.
Yeah.
And they're just available, and they want to talk.
And they do. They do. I mean, it was fun. I love to be able to talk to people. So one of the scriptures that we were thinking about whenever we were talking about this is in Hebrews, and let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works. And whenever we are going somewhere and we're stirring up that, encouraging each other to be able to do that, like that iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
As one man sharpens another. Being around like-minded people who can encourage you in your walk with God, who can encourage you as you are discipling your kids, who can encourage you whenever you're going through a difficult time, who have been through something similar to what you have been through, to be able to help you walk through it. I have made really good friends at conferences. I have just been uplifted. And I just think that there's something special about being able to go and be around a body of believers. And it's so neat how the church is everywhere.
Yeah.
Because whenever we were at this conference, there were people from all different states that we were able to meet, from some from Texas, I mean, all
Maine.
over Maine. Yeah, they were from all over. And yet all of us were one church,
Yeah.
with God.
And
So
that time to just worship together, and
yes.
it was just really special. And so there's conferences all over, especially you can find homeschool conferences, you can find parenting conferences. There's a lot of them over the summer
Mhm.
because it's kind of that break before
Yeah.
you start back to school. And so find one, because it would really just encourage and uplift your heart to be around other families, um,
And it's important to take that time.
and share, like, especially if you're in any kind of ministry at your
Yes.
church, or you're actively involved in discipleship in your community. The enemy wants to do everything he can to discourage you,
Mhm.
to make you think you're alone, to um, keep you kind of isolated.
Yeah.
And when you're at these conferences, just open up and share, like, hey, this is what life has looked like recently.
Mhm.
And you never know who you're going to run into that's like, oh, and then they can share something that can help you or encourage you.
Yeah.
I opened up to someone that I was very intimidated to open up to, and
Mhm.
God just really used her to speak into my life in a
Yes.
very powerful way. And I'm just thankful that we can be vulnerable. Like, so many times at these conferences, there's such a safe space. And
Yes.
so,
And just we all held hands this one in one of the night
mom's
meetings,
night,
the mom's night. Literally, we formed a circle around the entire room and held hands and prayed for the person on our right and the person on our left, whether we knew them or not. We were there as moms and able to pray for each other, and that was it
and
was
sisters in
lovely.
Christ, and it was
Yeah,
amazing. And so if you've never tried a conference, most of them, they're really affordable.
they are.
If you can find one near your hometown, then they're really affordable because you don't have to go anywhere. I also like to join, so for like Teach Them Diligently, they have a um, membership that you can join, that you can have access to their vault where you can hear
Yes.
all of the past sessions. And that's helpful to listen to too,
It is,
because
and that's helpful to listen to if you're a homeschooling mom or not a homeschooling mom. I've actually been listening to them in the van with my kids, and it's funny because they have me pause it and we'll talk about things. But it's just wonderful to because what Leslie and David Nunnery for this particular conference, while we're talking about this one because we were just there, is she calls it heart schooling, where you're schooling their heart and
yeah,
trying to get them to follow after God, which is something that all Christian parents, regardless of your educational style for
you've
your
got to get their
children,
heart.
you want to get their hearts. And I've been homeschooling for 17, 18 years, maybe more.
I think it's more than that.
And so I'm not changing curriculum whenever I go to homeschool conferences. The point for me now, whenever I go, is truly more about their heart. And I went
Yeah.
to this conference and really learned nothing about homeschooling. All of the classes that I went to were about discipling children because that's what I'm passionate about. And the others, I don't really want to change what I'm doing
But
after
if
this
you're
many
new,
years.
like if you're new to the, even if you were going to put your child in a private school or a public school or whatever,
Mhm.
like, these conferences are so important because it's going to talk about reaching the heart of your child and
Yeah,
making sure that no matter what, that you're engaged with them, not just so that they're connected to you. I mean, as moms, we would love for our kids to always be close to us,
but that's not, yeah,
but
the
that's not the goal.
purposes.
The goal is for them to know and love and follow Jesus.
Yeah.
And so we just want to
Mhm.
really encourage you guys, look up, find a conference. If you have a question about finding one, we'd love to help you find one. So
I'm
feel
hoping
free
to
to
have
reach
one
out.
eventually.
We're
That's one of our goals.
we've got some stuff in the works to see
Yeah.
if we can try to pull it together. But we really appreciate you guys joining us today, and I hope this was an encouragement to your heart. You can find us on any of your favorite podcast providers as well as YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe. And also, all of our Bible studies and books are on trainingthemwisely.com or Amazon. Have a great week.
Bye.